Pointy elbows and squeaky chairs make the world go round, and the bug eaters know all about this. The bug eaters still have their agenda, the Great Reset. But if you've noticed, it's now in the background. Why? It's because it's a process. They have now started the campaign. It's going to continue until the eventual Great Reset. What is the Great Reset? It's all for fiat currency. All of it. They have to reset fiat currency value. There is too much debt. The system is going to go to zero over time. But before it hits that little 0 point, they've already got a plan, friends. So we're right here. We're right here. And here's 0, okay? Here's 0. Before it gets to 0, they're like, oh, let's go Great Reset again. And then what happens is, this is what happens. You end up zooming in, and then it becomes another wave where you think you're going up again, and they're going to reset it again. But we've got another 30, 40, 50 years. They're going to reset the purchasing power of currency. For example, they might give you like 4 units for like 16 of right now, you know, and you're going to know, oh, what's this ratio going on? They might make it more overly complex for no reason, but you'll basically get devalued. This is super important to understand, okay? So this actually makes me bullish on crypto as a whole. So it's a key campaign. The bug eaters have a campaign, right? Just like how I did that campaign for, you know, free speech, human right, for Pulse Chain, for example. Just sharing with you, this is super important. I learned this from the meme communities. I'm here to teach you to progress the story is like the most important thing. When the candles aren't down, you got to give people something to believe in. You can't just say, the candles will be green, the candles will be green. You can say that, but what I've noticed is it's not effective. The overwhelming power of those green candles doesn't exist because they're just looking at red ones. You need a narrative. Well, guess what? The bug eaters know this too. The bug eaters know while they're printing money and everybody's happy, talk about them eating bugs. Now that everybody's sad and they're doing the interest rate hikes, have you noticed how we're not talking about eating bugs anymore? It's going to come back. Don't worry. It's coming back when they do the handouts again. Coming. Campaign, super important. This gives us insight into the next macroeconomic stimulus response from the Fed. How does it give us insight? It's because you know they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again. They're going to do the Great Reset. This might take 10 years, but they're going to do it. It's a process. That campaign is not an accident. They are here to reset the fiat currency. Look, they completely understand the game. Okay, I'm resting crocodiles literally part-time, dusty room, squeaky chair. How can I tell you that the stock market's basically keeping humans from revolting? How can I tell you this with confidence and not expect them to know that? They know that. Of course they know that. 56% of Americans are invested in the stock market. 56%. They need it to go up. Not just want, need. They will sacrifice purchasing power to keep it going up. The money supply ain't doing good too. Ain't doing too well too. Look, it's just been going up forever. Now, the money supply growth rate, it's about 5 to 7% per year. That's actually the inflation rate. So when you talk about the real inflation rate, it's 5 to 7%. But what they say is, well, it's not that accurate because you don't know where that inflation goes to. You should only care about how much it costs for a food basket like bananas, etc. That's how they always try to psyops you. But then you ask them, okay, where's the rest of the money going? They're like, oh, you can go look it up. You can't look it up. It's obfuscated. They have different financial institutions and different banks and deposits and repositories. You know what that's jargon for, friends? You know what it's jargon for? It means, here's the money printer. All right, here's the money printer. And then here is the end game user, which is our consumers, okay? Now what, this money printer, okay, the 7%, they print 7% every year, all right? And then it goes somewhere, and then you have a bank here, and then it goes somewhere else, and you have another bank, it goes somewhere else, goes another bank, and guess what? They're all pocketing 0.1%, 0.2%, 0.1, 0.05. All of them as chip, chop, chop, chop. They give loans out and spreads out. They're paying the spreads are going up, down, left, right, doing fake volume around. And then me and you end up with garbage. We all end up with garbage. But the money supply did get printed. So that's why it makes you think about something interesting. What's the real inflation rate? Well, I like to use the money supply. Why do I use that number? It's because I just assume all the money's corrupt. Now, is the money all corrupt? No, I just think it's better as a hurdle rate. Most of the money is corrupted. Just it's better to think like that. Very impossible to know because you can't see anything. That's why crypto solves a lot of problems. It's actually transparent, right? And actually we can see now, actually it's helped us see the vision now where this thing's just going to keep going up. The debt is going to keep growing. The supply of the money is going to keep growing, currency, and they have to do this great reset. They have to move everybody. They're going to move on everybody to the CBDC. That's just how it's going to go. And there's nothing we can do about it because the system's going to go to zero. And remember the Roca Negra ETF. Okay, I've made this to share with you. Okay, after Roca Negra, because they are with the bug eaters and the overlords, they want to move in the CBDCs. They're all working on the same team. Clearly, they go to public bathrooms and they hold hands while they urinate. They're rubbing shoulders together at cocktail parties, friends. They are not like sitting in different buildings going like, oh, wow, what's that guy doing over there? No, it's the insiders and the outsiders. Me and you, we're outsiders. There's billions of us. They are insiders. There's too much money at stake and power here. And they got to control the human population, probably for the new fake alien invasion, whatever story is coming next. All right, so Roca Negra, when they're going to get approved from the government for that ETF, we're going to actually see more regulation come in. They're going to require more paperwork because they know how to manipulate humans. They know what to do. So they just make you require to put in more forms, signatures, reporting and accounting things to be done if you want to hold crypto yourself. This is going to incentivize retailers to go and buy the Bitcoin ETF and route all the volume that way. See, they always have a plan. There's always a plan. Okay, if A doesn't work, okay, we'll come back in 2 years and do plan B. Very interesting that all of these things always come together. So now, think about it. If I give you the Roca Negra ETF to buy, well, you don't have to do any reporting. You just click one ticker on the stockbroker websites. Or, if you want to own it yourself, you got to do like every 6 or 12 months, you got to report it. It's extra forms to fill out. You got to get some security check. They slowly introduce these things over time. They slowly do it bit by bit, and they creep it up. So then, retailers going to have a choice. Are you going to buy that Bitcoin, that nice, easy, hassle-free Bitcoin ETF? Or, you're going to get annoyed every year doing these reporting standards and accounting to nominate yourself. That's why, if you notice, in the bills that they draft for US Congress, there are all these self-nomination reporting standards. They want to call everybody a broker. That's why they do it. This is what their ultimate goal is. It's so obvious. It's so obvious because they can't tell us Bitcoin's banned. They know they've lost the game. They do something more sinister. They wear it down. So this is how it works, right? If something can be defeated, they'll just do an outright ban. If something can't be banned, all right, what they'll do is they'll do like a gentle washing away. Gently wash it away over time, Think about it. There's probably 10 cardinal sins of crypto, right? 10 cardinal sins like, don't make us report, don't make us do these high accounting standards, don't make us require KYC, don't make us, all these things. And the government knows, all right, we want to do all 10, but they'll never stand for it. The people will revolt. So what they do is they're like, okay, just to get one in, let's do like half. Let's do half a sin, right? So it's like, okay, well, you've only got to report about your Bitcoin if you have a loan of a greater size or a smaller size, or if you're from another country. You see what I mean? So then everybody in the system says, well, that's all right. I mean, I live in America or whichever country, and you're like, I'm not a foreigner, so I don't have to report my Bitcoin holdings to the government. So it is what it is. Then it creeps it up. That's how it is. That's what's going on. This is the only way they can get everybody to do what they do. Now, if we know this is happening, why are we still here? It's because, all right, look, we know, yes, retailers they're always going to choose the hassle-free Bitcoin ETF, right? Roca Negra is going to absorb the power. If we know this is happening, then why are we here? Well, it's because this is the game. This was the game from the start. The game from the start was for Satoshi, open source code, impact the world, show us how it's done, such that we have a more transparent system. Doesn't mean burn the old system down. It's just to show everybody this is a better system. Now, that is how I'm speaking. That's diplomatic words. What actually we want is we want them to print the fiat Ponzi, okay, and then just come buy our bags. That's what we want them to do. Come dilute everybody in the population, dilute them more, come buy the bags and push us in to greater, higher wealth. But it's not going to be so easy. Unfortunately, before they start doing that, they got to get everybody trapped first. This is just how the game works. Very unfortunate. I don't make the rules of the game. So, you can sit here on the sidelines waiting for that next big inevitable crash, but we don't know where the prices are going to land. Is Bitcoin going to go to 200K before it crashes? Is it going to stop at 60, 70K? We don't know that. But while we see this wave coming in, I think it's very important for everybody to take advantage of it. That's exactly why you're here. Don't forget that great reset. They're going to bring it back once they start turning on those money printers again. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, all. Tell mom and dad we love and appreciate them. And we are never eating bugs, only protein. Catch you in the next one.